What does it mean to live a generous life? That's what we will be exploring together this fall. Certainly, generosity is a reflection of God. Our God has given us an abundance of blessings, including this earth, our families, and a grace-filled life in Jesus Christ. We reflect God's image when we are generous like God. Our theme for stewardship is Pathways to Generosity. I like the image of a pathway for several reasons. A pathway reminds me that discipleship is a journey, not a destination. We're all traveling together on the pathway of faith, yet each in our own place, each at our own pace. Every step we take on the pathway brings us closer to God. A pathway reminds me that others have gone before us and have made a way for us to follow. I'm thankful for the encouraging signs the saints have left for us along the way. This season, I invite you to join us on a spiritual journey that is grounded in gratitude, revealed through prayer, and lived in faith. Starting October 17th, you will receive a week's worth of daily devotions in your email. They are taken from the book, Generous Living. We're asking that everyone commit to reading the devotions each day for 28 days, to reflect on the message and pray this prayer: God, where do you want me to be in my giving? My suggestion is to read the devotions as part of family worship, as a couple, or by yourself. I also encourage you to journal your thoughts about living a generous life. You see, each of us is on a different place on the giving path that leads to generous living. Some of you may be considering giving to the church for the first time. This is a big step when you make up your mind to share from the abundance God has given you. Many of you have moved to the next step of being an intentional giver, giving a percentage of your income. I found after you have made that step, the next is easy. You've experienced the joy of giving, and you begin to increase the percentage to become a growing giver. On this path, the growing givers set a goal to grow into giving a tithe. A tithe is the biblical principle of giving back to God 1/10 of your income. I know the accountant types will ask, is that net or gross? I believe it's what you feel is right. God's going to be looking at the ledger. Time after time, I have heard testimony of the joy and deep trust that comes from those of us who have decided to tithe. Finally, you may be an extravagant giver, giving even beyond a tithe because your generosity is overflowing. Because we believe that living a generous life is a spiritual journey, we are focusing on your prayerful discernment of where God wants you to be on this giving pathway. Giving is how we respond to God's blessings in our lives and how we can share the abundance so others can experience God's grace. I invite you to join us on this journey so that when we gather on Pathways to Generosity Sunday, November 14th, we will offer our intentions of giving for the important ministry of Williamsburg Presbyterian Church as our dedication to live a generous life, trusting in our generous God.